I've got an important question for you. Do you remember this scene from Lilo and Stitch? What if I told you that you could do that in real life? What's up YouTube? I'm Luke Embers and I'm a fire knife dancer in Chicago. Today I'm going to be teaching you the most fundamental move in all of Siva Afi, also known as the Samoan fire knife dance, so that you can be just like David from Lilo and Stitch. All that you're going to need for today is a stick or a pole that's about 3 feet long and an open space. I'm going to be using this practice fire knife that I made myself, but if you don't have something like this, then you can simply use a broomstick or a pole that you can find around your home. Please note, we are only going to be going through the basic motions today and we will not be using fire. I do not recommend trying this with fire until you've mastered this move and you have the proper equipment, tools, and supervision to do so. With that said, let's jump right in. Alright, so the move that I'm going to be teaching you all today is called Vili Lima Lua, also known as the two-hand spin. It goes something like this. Vili Lima Lua is probably the most common and fundamental move in all of fire knife, and by developing and practicing the skill, you will learn essential hand-eye coordination skills that'll help you progress into more intermediate types of moves such as Vili Lima Tasi, which is the one-hand spin, or Vili Kua, which is around the world. Now let's go step by step into how to do the Vili Lima Lua. Alright, so before you can truly get this move, it's very important that you understand what your hands are doing. Now, I'm going to be doing this right-handed because I spin right-handed. If you're left-handed, pretty much just mirror this, but for now, I'm going to be leading with my right hand. So, essentially, all the power and control is coming from your right hand. And so, the motion that your right hand is going to be doing without moving the knife or the stick is simply a flick like this. So you can have your hand out and you kind of flick it to the left like a gun, like you're slinging a gun to the left. A lot of the times when learning this move is people will try to grab the knife with their right hand, and that's not what you're supposed to do. The idea is that the knife is rolling off of your thumb. So let me just show you what the right hand is doing. You're going to start with the knife in your right hand, and all you're going to do is you're going to twist it and make that motion. So I'm going to show you again. I twist it, and you see how the knife or the stick is rolling off my thumb. Now try to get used to that a little bit, get a feeling of it, and see if you can get a nice smooth roll. It's okay, you don't have to do anything with your left hand for now. The idea is to understand the flow and control of your right hand, because again, people will try to grab the knife like that, and that's not what you're supposed to do, okay? You want to make sure that it rolls over your thumb, because your left hand is going to be the one that actually catches it. It's actually a handoff versus a catch with your right and grab. So try that a couple more times, get it nice and smooth. When you're able to land it off the floor and get a nice smooth twirl on it, you should be ready to move on. All right, from here. So this is where your left hand comes in, and this is where it's important for coordination, all right? So the way we measure spinning in fire knife is revolutions. Now, revolution is one complete 360 turn of the knife. So for the Vili Lima Lua, the two-hand spin, it's gonna be 3 half revolutions on your right hand and 1 half revolution on your left hand, making 2 full revolutions with both hands. I'll show you what that means. So when you're turning your fire knife, it's gonna be half a revolution, that's 1. 2 half revolution. It's gonna roll off your finger and turn around like this, 3 half revolution. And then your left hand is gonna turn it to make it 4. I hope that makes sense. And so from here, what you wanna do, put your left hand over your right wrist like this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do those 3 half revolutions with your right hand first, and then catch it with your left hand. So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3. And you're gonna grab it with your left hand and then do a half rotation like that. And then you start over. I'm gonna do that again, slowly. Turn. Now what you really wanna focus on is roll off your thumb, because that'll allow you to get that 3rd half revolution on your right hand. Because you can't just turn it like this all the way around and get to the 3rd revolution. You have to let the knife roll over your thumb so that you can catch it on your left hand and then do that final half revolution, all right? So we're gonna try that again. Nice and slowly, turn. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. And then just keep trying to drill this, keep trying to get that motion, and keep trying to count those revolutions, all right? Just like that. Turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. Now I'm adjusting my hand a little bit because I'm doing it at a slower pace, but when you're able to speed it up, your hand motion, like I first originally showed, is doing that gunsling motion to the left, right? It's gonna look like that. This is what a full rotation looks like when you speed it up, okay? So just keep practicing that. Try to make sure it gets nice and smooth, and then do the final half revolution with your left hand. I'm gonna try it again real slow. Grab, turn, then you bring your right hand around and bring it over again. Turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. Now continue practicing this and eventually try to speed it up and to make it nice and smooth, like so. And that is the Vili Lima Lua, or the two-hand spin. All right, so now that you know the basic motion of the Vili Lima Lua, here are 3 tips to help develop and solidify a strong foundation. Tip number 1, make sure that your elbows stayed locked into your sides. All right, when you're first learning this move, you're gonna easily wanna flare out your elbows like this. But what I recommend is to keep them nice and tight to your sides like this. And what this does is it helps to reduce the amount of weight distribution across the space, and you want to keep it nice and compact in the center. Think of ice skaters and how when they jump and turn, if you've ever seen like ice skating, versus being out and wide, they come in to increase the rotation. And that's kind of similar to the idea of the Vili Lima Lua, where you want to make sure that you're nice and compact in the center so that you can put all your energy towards the rotation. And for your elbow location, you want it to be right next to your side, not too far up like this, but also not too close in like this. You want to be nice and balanced with your elbows being on your side, just like that. Tip number 2, you want to make sure that you're nice and wide when you're doing the Vili Lima Lua, or honestly any type of fire knife move, because the fire knife dance is the representation of a Samoan warrior in ancient times. And so as a Samoan warrior, you want to feel your presence and you want to feel your strength by filling up the space around you. Kind of like if you see cobras, how they rise up and they spread kind of like their flaps on the sides. You kind of want to be like that, nice and wide. This is very timid, but this looks nice and strong. So keep a nice wide stance. You can bend your knees a little bit. Just feel kind of the strength and power that comes with it. Tip number 3, as you're developing this move, try to reduce the amount of power that you're putting in the pass. And what I mean is, when you first start, you're gonna have a very strong grip, or at least feel like you're having a strong grip on your left hand when you're passing it over. But what you wanna do is try to reduce the amount you're touching the fire knife as you're crossing it over, to make it nice and light and to reduce the amount of friction from your left hand to the right hand. And this will allow you to make an even faster rotation with your hands. So those are the 3 tips that I have for you as you're developing your skill with Vili Lima Lua. And with that said, that is all I have for you guys for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you felt the power of a fire knife dancer with your Vili Lima Lua. Make sure to follow these tips so that you can develop your skill and create a strong foundation for the art of fire knife dancing to eliminate any bad habits early on in the game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like always, be what remains. I'll see you next time. Peace.